You're watching Newswire on Free Speech TV. I'm Antoinette June. Wisconsin's recall elections are being flooded by millions of dollars coming from advocacy groups. A nonpartisan group estimates that nearly $31 million has been spent on the recall elections, far less than the $4 million spent on all of the state races in 2010. The majority of Americans are disappointed with the work Congress is doing at the Capitol. A recent poll shows that 82% of Americans are unhappy with congressional leaders because of the debt deal reached this week. And it's not only Americans that are angry about the policies in Washington. Some analysts are blaming U.S. policies for the plunge in the stock markets across the globe. U.S., European, and Asian markets are on the decline, fueled by fears that the economy could slip into a double-dip recession.
Analysts are predicting further losses, and they blame several economic and political factors for the drop in investments. One is the potential for the euro to collapse as the debt problems plaguing Ireland and Greece have spread to Spain and Italy. The other factor is the slow growth of the U.S. economy, which economists predict will only worsen thanks to the debt ceiling deal passed by Congress this week. The deal will cost the economy about 1.8 million jobs and will likely decline the country's GDP growth over the next year. Ted Weisberg, a trader on Wall Street, says the U.S. needs to take a second look at its economic policies to bring confidence back into the markets.
Well, first of all, we need a change in economic policies in Washington, and beyond that, we need something positive for investors to focus on. Now, we've had very good second quarter earnings, but unfortunately it hasn't been enough to trump all the other bad economic news.
Friday, the U.S. jobs report offered a slim glimmer of hope as the unemployment rate fell 0.1%, but it is yet to be determined whether or not that offers stability for the markets. This is Marcy Miranda for Newswire.
This year alone, 30 different states have introduced school voucher bills that would let students take public money and spend it on private schools. According to the National Conference on State Legislatures, this is the largest surge of voucher policy proposals ever. The rush is in part due to the Republican majorities that took control of many state legislatures. And the superhero world is finally starting to see a little more diversity. Here's that story.
On Thursday, Marvel Comics revealed that the new Spider-Man is now a half Latino, half African-American character. Miles Morales replaced Peter Parker, the longtime white Spider-Man, after Peter was killed in issue 160 in June. The change has sparked some controversy in the comic book community, but Thor Parker, the marketing and events coordinator of a comic book store in New York City, says the controversy doesn't necessarily have to do with the character's race.
Comic fans are very fickle. And usually they get more upset about the fact that someone's costume changed than the fact that the guy isn't white anymore.
Comic fans have some positive things to say about the mixed-race Spider-Man.
I don't know, I think it's weird to have someone new, but I think it's kind of cool to have someone different at the same time, you know.
I think it's great. I think it speaks a lot on where the world is right now.
Spokespeople for the comic have said publicly that having a superhero of color will play an important role for young readers. This is Layla Bigash for Newswire.
In Florida, a group of farm workers have launched a campaign to expose exploitation in the tomato industry. The Coalition of Immokalee Workers has made a name for itself by using creative consumer-driven campaigns to promote fair wages and improved working conditions for tomato harvesters. 1 year after the highly publicized mining accident in Chile, many of the miners are struggling to survive financially.
It's been 1 year since 33 Chilean miners were trapped 2,000 feet below Earth's surface during an ordeal that gained international media attention. After the men's dramatic rescue, the miners were bombarded with gifts of trips and requests for interviews. Yet once the media frenzy wore off, many of the miners were faced with economic hardships, and today most are living in extreme poverty. One of the miners was Dario Segovia, who now works only at his family's vegetable stand. Segovia's wife talked about the hardships the miners faced after the accident.
Most of his workmates are unemployed. They've been punished and discriminated against because of the accident.
15 of the Chilean miners are currently unemployed, and several work in small vegetable and fruit stands. This week is the 1 year anniversary of the accident, and several miners have expressed hope that the president will grant them each a $430 a month public pension. This is Rose Brunning for Newswire.